all, Tony. Leave us alone.
All right, thank you, sir.
Well, you have my word on that, C.W. Well, sure.
Justin?
Oh, just hold on for just 1 second, C.W., will you? Excuse me. Would you hush, darling? This is a very, very important call. Thank you very much, C.W. I was just checking on a couple of figures here. Yeah, listen, I can have those contracts in the mail, lock, stock, and barrel by tomorrow morning. Yeah. Fine. Will you just give me a holler when you're ready? Deal. All right, bye-bye. Allison, that was a very, very important telephone call.
Well, I'm terribly sorry. Gregory is missing.
Well, is that all? You just haven't looked in the right place, probably.
It's not like Gregory to be gone all day. He doesn't have friends to play with. He doesn't have any place to go.
Obviously, he found some place to go today.
I don't think this is very funny.
Well, listen, Ashley will be home soon from the doctor. Maybe she'll know something then.
No, now, at this time, Gregory should be home reading or playing with that little spaceship of his.
Well, that's it. Now I remember. Ashley said something about him going on some kind of a space center tour today. That's what it is.
He'd be back by now.
Well, maybe he stayed to see something once again.
No, he wouldn't do that. He should be home by now.
Listen, boys will be boys. I remember once, Allison, when I was his age. Well, never mind.
It's not like Gregory to be late and not to call.
Gregory? Yo, Gregory! Hey, Gregory! 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 Gregory?
Well, what do you think, Mark? Are we going to get in on the Austin chalk?
You're not asking for much, huh, Dad? Only the largest oil field in the state?
Well, if it was easy, would I have brought you in from Australia?
Got a point there. The easy we do immediately.
I mean, the impossible takes a little longer, right?
Ryan! Good to see you.
Hiya, Mark. It's been a long time
It's
now.
been
hasn't
too
it?
long.
You have Ryan to thank for your job. He was the first one to suggest you.
No, your dad would have thought of you. I just nudged him along a little,
At any
right?
rate, I'm grateful for the suggestion.
Well, I am too. I like the job, the new challenges every day. I enjoy that. Ryan? You looking good?
Well, I'm feeling good, thanks. I'm practicing law again. That makes me feel good.
We're all find our niches.
Well, sounds like you found yours, right?
Yeah, I have.
Listen, Mark, we're real glad to have you here. Your dad and I, well, we feel the company needs you, okay?
Thanks.
So if there's anything I can ever do to help, you just let me know.
Oh, there will be. I'm still settling into the job. I've got a lot to learn. Your advice will be very valuable.
Okay, I'm a telephone call away, right?
How are things at the ranch?
They're okay.
Well, the way you said that, it sounds as if something's wrong, is there?
Listen, it's my problem, okay?
Does it have anything to do with Miles Rehnquist?
Oh, it sure does. You see, Mark, I was gone for 6 weeks, and when I came home, I found out that this Rehnquist had been around almost the entire time, only Ginny never told me about it.
Maybe she had a good reason.
Yeah, maybe. You see, this Miles Rehnquist is a geologist. He's considered kind of an odd character. Seems he turns down opportunities that most other geologists would leap at. So I'm going to find out everything I can about him.
Well, haven't Ginny and Kate told you about it?
No, just keep avoiding it. I did have a talk with him, though.
You did? What did he say?
Well, he told me that he lost something in an accident in the storm. He claims it's vitally important that he find it, only he never told me what it is or anything about it. So I told him he has to get off the ranch. Just a few days.
That sounds mighty odd.
Well, no kidding. I've been getting it from all sides, what kind of danger he's in, how respected he is in his profession. But if he is in danger, then my family is too, and I just can't allow that to happen.
I don't blame you.
So I'm going to do a complete investigation on him, find out everything I can.
Well, Rena had him checked out, and she was satisfied enough to let him take over the cabin. Yet, isn't it interesting that none of these people will talk about him? Not Rena, not Brett, Ginny, Kate. I have a feeling that Brett is responsible for that.
How do you figure that out?
Well, haven't you noticed how glassy-eyed she is when she discusses him as being a living legend? I have a feeling that she's got a crush on him. She's talked the other two into going along with her. That's what makes him seem to be mysterious.
Well, you may be right, but I'm going to check on him anyway. Hey, Mark, good seeing you again.
Good seeing you, Ryan.
Okay, Grant?
Oh, Kate, I'm sorry. I had so much shopping to do, I didn't realize it would take so long.
Did you happen to pass Bo on the way in here?
No, something wrong?
Oh, I'm so worried.
Why?
Well, it's Ashley's little cousin, Gregory. You know, he showed up here at the ranch looking for Steve.
But Steve's gone.
Yes, I know that. But that little boy came all the way out from Houston on the bus.
By himself?
Yes. Justin and Ashley shouldn't allow that child to wander around like that by himself.
Well, why would Gregory come clear out here?
He told me he traded Steve one of Justin's old toys, and he wanted to get it back. A racing car.
Oh, yes. And Steve traded that to Buddy Coleman, Jr.
I know. That's what I told Gregory.
Well, then Steve will just get it when he comes home, that's all.
Sure. Sure he can. But when I told Gregory that, he looked as if he'd lost his best friend. He says he has to get the car back. He says Justin likes that car very much. He has to get it for him.
So that means that Bo and Gregory are on their way to the Coleman, so why don't you just call over there?
Well, they couldn't have gotten there yet. You see, I told Gregory that he had to get right back on the bus to Houston and that I was going to get a ranch hand to drive him to Marshall Village so he could catch it.
And?
And I gave him a piece of pie, and then when I went to look for Bo, I came back and he was gone.
Did you call Ashley or Justin?
Well, I didn't want to worry Ashley yet.
Well, Bo will find him. He knows where to look. He'll just has to go across the pasture to the Coleman Ranch. He'll find Gregory.
I just feel so bad. I never should have left that little boy alone.
Oh, Kate, don't be so hard on yourself. Now, Bo will find Gregory, we'll get the racing car back, and everything will be just fine. You'll see. Why isn't anyone else here?
That's the way I want it.
I see.
Wine? It was a very good year. It's been a long time.
Not long enough.
Oh, that wasn't very gracious.
What do you want with me?
You haven't changed much over the years.
Neither of you.
I remember you clearly when you were on the Riviera with your Aunt Hildy.
Well, now, surely you didn't invite me here to reminisce.
No.
Then why?
Patience.
I really can't stay here. I have to get back.
You can stay here just as long as I wish to keep you here. You know, your Aunt Hildy's world travels were made possible by me.
What are you talking about?
Don't interrupt. It was through me your Aunt Hildy amassed her fortune. I told her where to invest her money.
Through corporations you control.
16 of them. Investing her money in them made her wealthy.
But
She did exactly what I told her to do. Which is the way it should be. But in the end, she betrayed me.
She never betrayed anyone.
I invested her money took nothing and built it into a fortune through corporations I control.
Well, but how did she...
Don't interrupt me. Her will stipulated that her money was to come to me.
No.
Yes. But she changed her will without my knowledge. And now you have inherited $40 million in her estate. Do you know what I want? The money is legally yours. But I want you to leave it alone. I want you to leave the $40 million invested in corporations that I control.
But what if I want to take the money
Whatever
and...
you want has no concern to me. You'll do what I want. Leave the money invested in my corporations. I want stability.
And if I don't?
Need you ask?
No.
Then we understand each other. So as long as you do what I ask, we'll have no difficulties. Understood?
Yes. This is blackmail.
I like to think of it as good advice. You do comprehend why I have power over you.
Yes, I do.
Good.
Donnie's not here yet, so let's just wait for him.
Hope we're not here on some wild goose chase.
We're not.
I'm sorry. I'm just jumpy.
Look, I already told you part of the story that Donnie told me. Now, that was enough to get you here to hear the rest of it from him, right?
I said I was sorry.
Yeah, but you didn't smile when you said it.
Is this better?
Much. Why are you so interested in High Pile?
I've already told you why.
You haven't told me much.
Sure hope Donnie gets her soon.
It's that Miles Rehnquist guy, isn't it?
Let's just forget about him, shall we? Ricky, I want to thank you for that song you sang the other night for Dad and Rena.
I was singing it for you, too.
That barbecue sure smells good.
Oh, here's Donnie. Donnie, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Want you to meet a friend of mine. This is Brett Wheeler. Brett, Donnie Jacobs.
Donnie, it's nice to meet you.
Same here. Have a seat, buddy. You're the one that wants to know about High Pile, right?
That's right.
What do you want to know?
Well, let's start with where is it?
Oh, that's easy.
I'm sorry I can't entertain you, Allison, but I got so much work to do here, Don.
Well, look, I
Listen,
understand...
when do you start working for Rena Decker? I can hardly wait till you're operating as my spy.
I don't plan to be your spy.
You know, you can do a lot if you just set your mind to it.
I can't set my mind to anything right now except Gregory.
Don't worry, darling.
No, it's your fault he's gone. Yours and Ashley's.
Now, hold on here.
You yelled at him. He did not deserve that.
Why, he sure did. He traded off something that didn't even belong to him.
Justin Gregory is 10 years old. His mama just died. You've got to get used to that.
Ashley.
Well, hello, you two.
What did the...
Gregory's gone. What? He's gone. He left the hotel early this morning. I left word for him to call when he got back. Nothing.
Now, let's not be alarmists.
I think he ran away.
Oh, my Lord. I knew that I shouldn't have climbed all over him like that. This is my fault. It is my fault.
Sweetheart, simmer down now. Simmer down. We don't know anything.
When it
We
rains, it pours.
What?
Everything's just gone wrong today.
The doctor. What happened to the
The doctor?
Yes.
Oh, he didn't say anything that we haven't already heard.
Oh.
Everything's fine. It's just going to take some time.
Good.
I'm going to call the Space Center now. See if Gregory even went on that tour today. Karen, get me the Space Center.
It's probably still there.
Please let him be there.
Hi, Rena.
Where's Grant?
He's at a conference. Can I help you?
No, I don't think so. I just brought these contracts over for his approval before we move on them.
Here. We'll just put them on top of the ones he already has on his desk.
Now I understand.
I understand why.
Now I know why you refuse to have your own desk.
A desk and piles of paper add up to a fire hazard.
Can you imagine what those filing cabinets you're using in my office are going to look like in a couple of months?
Innocent from the outside, a fire trap inside.
How are things going?
Fine, just fine. I saw Ryan a while ago. I hadn't seen him in years. He's a great guy. World Oil lost someone special when he stepped down.
Well, Ryan is good at whatever he does, whether it's in the boardroom or the courtroom. I'm just glad to have him back.
Bet you're happy to have your father back from Mexico, too.
I am.
I met Stryker the other day. He's a heck of a guy.
Thank you. Daddy's special.
Speaking of fathers, would you like to leave a message for mine?
Yes. Would you please remind him that he's supposed to have dinner at my parents' home this evening?
He won't forget.
And about this contract.
Just a second.
Okay.
Hello? Put Mr. Bellman on.
Hello, Mark.
Yes, sir.
You want to know more about Hawker Barnes and Boots Budrow? Get yourself over to Spindletop.
They're with you.
I've arranged a meeting for us.
Well, thank you. I'm on my way.
Something good?
Possibly. That was Stryker from Spindletop. You can put what he says in the bank.
Maybe we better call Ashley. It's getting late.
Well, I don't think there's any reason to alarm Ashley until we've spoken to Bo. For all we know, he might have Gregory out at the bus station already.
All right, we'll wait a while. Oh, it's Ryan.
All right.
Oh, come on. Isn't anybody happy to see me?
I'm sorry. Of course we are.
I'm anxious about Bo.
Kate's very worried.
About what?
Gregory, Ashley's cousin. He came all the way out here to see Steve. He had traded him one of Justin's old model racing cars, and he wanted to get it back.
And Steve traded the car to Buddy Jr. You know, Gregory came out here today on the bus all by himself.
And?
And then he disappeared. I went out to get a hand to go look for the boy. And when I got back, he'd gone.
Well, they should be on their way to the Coleman Ranch by now, but Gregory's only 10 years old, and Bo went out to Kate sent Bo out to look for.
I just can't stand it waiting around here any longer. I'm going to go look for the boy.
Listen, Kate, have you called the Colemans?
Wanda?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's time I did that. Yeah, I really am so worried. I just can't even think straight now. Hello? Wanda? Kate Marshall here. Have you seen a little boy around your place?
No, not that I know of. What's he look like?
Well, he's about 10 years old. He has dark hair and dark eyes and freckles. Lots of freckles.
What's his name?
Gregory.
No, I haven't seen him. If I do, I'll give a call.
Oh, all right. Thank you kindly.
Kate. Bo will find Gregory.
Yeah. Just, give him a little more time, okay?
Hi, Mr. Bellman.
Call me Stryker.
Stryker. Thanks for arranging the meeting.
The Hawker and Boots will be here in a minute. They got me puzzled.
Why's that?
They never do anything without a purpose, whether it's oil or politics.
More often, politics.
Not necessarily. They shift with the power.
So I've heard.
I've racked my very brains, called in markers, talked to all the shakers and movers I know. No one knows anything. I haven't the faintest idea what they're up to.
Maybe they're on a fishing expedition.
That could be, but their favorite fishing hole is usually Dallas or Austin. 8 ball in a corner.
Nice shot. We've got to find out what they're using for bait and who's supplying the bait.
Mark, my boy, I like your style.
I like yours too, Stryker.
When we don't know what anyone's going to do, we go to the source. That's why I invited Hawker and Boots here.
Howdy, Stryker. Well, looky here. If it ain't Grant Wheeler's boy, Mark. How are you, lad?
Oh, Mark. Stryker, I thought you called this powwow for just you, me, and Boots.
Well, you boys know Mark. I figured you wouldn't mind having the president of World Oil here.
Don't mind at all. It's a pleasure. The Stryker's buying. He always drinks the best bourbon, the same as us.
That's right. Cheers. Sit down, fellas.
Thank you.
Oh, what's on your mind, Stryker?
I would like to know what you and Boots are doing here in Houston.
You know where High Topah is?
Sure.
Well, what is High Topah?
Well, the word comes from the ancient Indian language. It means place of the great fire.
Yeah? Go on.
Well, about 700 years ago, there was an incredible explosion of fire that shot clear up to the sky. They say you could see it for hundreds of miles. Now, that tremendous explosion of fire gave us the word High Topah.
Yeah, but tell her about the legend.
That's interesting. There's an ancient Indian legend that has grown up around this explosion and fire. Now, legend has it that Sutar had planted a curse on the High Topah region.
Who's Sutar?
He's an ancient Indian god.
And what kind of a curse?
Well, Sutar's curse says that if High Topah is ever violated again, that there will be an explosion and fireball so enormous that it will tear up the great plains of the earth and scatter them throughout the skies.
Tell me, are there any detailed maps of the High Topah region?
Well, there are maps of the area, but the region of High Topah is uncharted.
It's a really rugged country.
Yeah, it's tough hiking, and once you're up there, it's brutal.
Few people have ever backpacked into the area.
We have. Ricky was with me. We've backpacked in the High Topah region, but I'm not sure where it is. Nobody is.
But if anyone finds it, then they face this Sutar's curse.
That's right.
This is fascinating.
Brett, tell me something.
Sure.
Why are you so interested in all this?
Well, I'm a geologist.
Oh, that's interesting.
Why?
Well, I once took a geologist into the High Topah area.
And?
Well, I'll never forget him.
Why?
Well, he was a kind of smart guy. Weird, too. You know what he did?
What?
He gave me the slip.
What do you mean?
Ricky, we were backpacking in the High Topah area. One minute he was there, the next minute he was gone, like he vanished into thin air.
That's impossible.
You're telling me? I'm a first-rate guide, but he lost me. I never found a trace of him.
Well, do you have any idea why he ditched you?
No.
You must have some idea.
Well, I kind of got the feeling he was getting close to something important.
What do you mean?
It was something I sensed. He was getting excited, like he was looking for something. It felt as if he was on the verge of discovering it.
You remember this guy's name?
Sure, I'll never forget him or his name.
Who is he?
Miles Rehnquist.
I'd like you two to answer my question. What are you doing here in Houston?
Well, we're here on a little business.
Yeah, we're always interested in business.
What kind of business?
This and that.
Just business.
Oil or politics?
A little political business.
Little oil business.
Just business.
Who's your business with?
We got some with one guy.
And some with another.
We got lots of business interests.
Are you planning on making World Oil one of your interests?
Mark, that's a possibility.
There are lots of possibilities.
Thanks for your time, gentlemen.
Oh, you're not leaving.
Well, I don't see, why not? You two boys don't want to talk, you just want to dance.
Now, don't go getting sour, Stryker.
Yes, Stryker, don't suit your sunny nature.
These boys aren't going to tell us anything, but they'll come around in time.
And that's it? You're taking your leave?
That's about the size of it, unless you two have something to say. Well, thanks for dropping by. I've got to get to dinner. Enjoy your drinks, gentlemen. Adios.
What does Stryker Bellman want?
He's trying to find out why Boots and I are in town.
What did you tell him?
Well, just what we wanted them to know. Nothing.
Stryker's an old bulldog. When he goes after something, he don't let up.
Now, he's after finding out why we're here in town.
But Stryker isn't going to find out anything, is he?
Not from Boots.
Not from Hawker.
Excellent.
Mama? Mm-hmm. Mind looking at me for a minute? Of course. Is that all right? Oh, it's not too much now, is it?
I haven't heard you use that expression since you were in high school. You look absolutely gorgeous, and you know it.
Thank you. Oh, I bought some new perfume. You like it?
Oh, that's divine.
Nice, huh?
Oh, honey, I can't tell you how pleased I am to see you so happy these days.
I am. I haven't been this happy in quite a while.
And it's not just your job, is it?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, yes and no. The man I work for makes my job very exciting and fun.
Fun?
Mm-hmm. Grant Wheeler.
Grant Wheeler what?
Just Grant Wheeler, okay?
I think I know.
Yeah, I think you do. Thank you for inviting him over for dinner. I appreciate that.
Oh, it's my pleasure, honey. You know how much Stryker and I like Grant.
Mm-hmm. Where's Daddy?
I don't know, but he should be home soon, I hope.
He's probably still at the Spindle Top with Mark.
Oh? Well, what are they doing there?
I don't know. Mark was in Grant's office waiting to see him. Then Daddy called and off Mark went.
Well, Stryker must be on to something important.
Something or someone. Mama. Mama, do you remember Hawker Barnes and Boots Boudreaux?
Certainly.
Well, Mark mentioned them just before he left.
I found outside looking real
Hello, Vicky. How are you?
Hello, Grant. I'm fine, thank you.
Hello, Rita.
Hello.
Oh, you're very lovely. As are you, Vicky. Thank you for inviting me to dinner. I've been looking forward to it all day.
And you haven't seen Gregory at all. And there hasn't been a message. Well, I really appreciate you watching for him. Yeah, I know. Yeah, please do that. Thank you. Karen, transfer all my calls in here. Anybody that calls, Justin's office.
Yeah, well, Ashley, it's almost supper time.
I know.
Well, I'm hungry, and...
Oh, please, Justin.
Well, what I'm saying is I'm hungry, and Gregory is probably hungry, too. I mean, he'll come home soon.
Well, he hasn't, Justin. I've called the hotel. There hasn't even been a message from him.
Sweetheart, he'll turn up.
Stop saying that, Allison.
Well, he will turn up, darling. He'll get hungry, and he'll come home.
Justin, he's our responsibility.
I know that. But, listen, Gregory's boy. Boys stay out later than they're supposed to. You better get used to that.
Not Gregory.
Listen, when I was his age, I remember I got interested in a couple of bullfrogs down by the creek. Didn't even notice the moon.
Yes.
Ashley?
Yes.
Is that you?
Yes.
Well, this is Kate Marshall here. I'm calling about Gregory.
Oh, is he there?
He came out here on the bus this afternoon.
On the bus? Why?
Well, he said he wanted to get Justin's model racing car back from Steve.
Well, then why isn't he there?
Oh, because Steve isn't here. I was going to have one of the hands take him down to Marshall Village and put him on the bus back to Houston, but...
But what? What?
Well, when I went out to try to find a hand, Gregory took off.
What do you mean? Where did he go?
Well, I told him that Steve had traded the car to Buddy Jr., so I guess he headed over to the Coleman's place.
Oh, well, have you sent anyone after him yet?
Yes, I sent Bo out to look for him, but he hasn't come back yet. And when I called Wanda, she said she hadn't seen Gregory.
Oh, no.
Well, now, it's 10 miles over there to the Coleman place. There are lots of places where a little boy on foot could get lost. But we'll find him.
Look, Kate, I really appreciate you calling, and I would feel better if we were there, too.
Well, I should think you would.
All right, we'll be right out there. Thank you.
Gregory?
Yeah. He took a bus out to the Marshall Ranch so he could get your dumb model racing car back, and now he's lost. He's lost? Yeah, that's what I said. He's lost. Somewhere between the Marshall Ranch and the Coleman. Come on, let's go.
It's getting dark. Gregory's afraid of the dark.
Allison, please, let's just go on over to the ranch.
I know you've got it. Where is it? Where is it?
What do you want?
That old wooden puzzle.
The old wooden Indian?
I knew you knew what I was talking about. Now, where is it?
It's on the Coleman porch. I left it there, honest.
Coleman porch. You wouldn't be lying, would you, kid?
I'm not lying. It's there, I swear.
Do you know what I do to liars?
Oh, sir.
Well, if I go up to that Coleman porch and that puzzle isn't on it, I'm going to come back and I'm going to find you no matter where you are. And you're not going to like what I'm going to do.
It's there, I swear.
All right. Now you just forget all about that wooden Indian puzzle and you forget you ever saw me. Understand? All right, now if I ever hear that you snitched on me, I'll come looking for you and you'll be sorry you were ever born. Now get out of here.
Rena, honey, would you keep me company while I check and see what time dinner's going to be served?
Of course. Excuse us?
Grant, fix your drink?
No. I understand that you and Mark had a conversation with Boots and Hawker.
Damnedest thing.
Why?
I asked them directly what they're doing here in Houston. They'll give me a song and dance.
What are you going to do about it?
I'm determined to find out who those boys are answering to. They're trying to cover up the power
All right,
behind
you
them.
two, enough talk about business. Dinner is going to be in a few minutes. Well, Grant, I must say, you and Rena seem to get along famously.
Well, as I've told you many times, she's doing a wonderful job.
Dinner is being served. Daddy, will you help us choose the wines for dinner tonight?
Surely, madame.
All righty.
Rena.
Yes.
I meant what I said. You're particularly lovely.
I want it to be.
Allison Linden, this is my grandma, Kate, Mrs. Marshall. Grandma, this is Ashley's sister, Allison.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Marshall.
I just wish it were more pleasurable circumstances.
Us too, Grandma. Thank you very much for calling.
Well, I wish I hadn't had to, Justin. You know, you should never leave a little boy like that alone. It's not safe.
Grandma, Gregory is
A little boy. It's my fault. I thought that I could let him go places nearby. He was just going to go to the Space Center today.
Alone?
I know. He's too young to go places alone.
Well, I used to.
But you grew up around here. Gregory's a stranger to these parts.
I never, ever should have let him go alone.
Now, Ashley,
I love
don't
that
fault
boy.
yourself.
I love him. If anything happens to him...
Now, Ashley, we'll find him. Bo's out there looking for him now. He'll be back with him soon. You'll see.
What might you be doing?
Hush, Allie. Betty's freezing cold.
You heard your sister, Allison. She said hush, so hush.
Why? All I said was that it's cold and it's dark. Gregory's scared of the dark and it is cold.
We know, Allison, we know.
More coffee, Justin?
Oh, Grandma, I don't want any coffee.
Why don't you calm down, Justin?
I can't. I'm responsible for Gregory being out here.
I hope you've learned a lesson from this.
Well, yes, I have, Grandma, and I don't like you lecturing me. I'm gonna go find that boy.
Where are you gonna look?
He doesn't know his way around out there. I'm so scared for him.
We're not doing any good sitting here. Grandma, the big flashlight's still in the barn?
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going to find that boy. I know this place better than any hand.
I'm gonna go with you.
Me too.
No, you stay here.
Why? I want to help find him. Is it okay if Allie stays here?
Sure. You need to stay here in case Gregory comes back here, okay?
Look, I'm gonna go to Marshall Village.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Now, hold on a minute, ma'am. I can explain everything. Just hear me out.
The explanation I want to hear is the sound of your feet leaving my property.
Yes, ma'am.
That buddy, if he doesn't learn to pick up his toys, he's not going to have any more toys to play with.
Morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
I'm sorry, ma'am. We have just no more room in the lobby. Your deliveries.
My delivery? What is it?
Wait 1 minute. Who are these from?
There was no card, ma'am.
There's no card.
Vivian, I still don't know what you want of me.
It's like I said, Mrs. Decker, it's not something that I can really talk about over the phone. That's why I thought maybe we could kind of have that little lunch together. After all, you gotta eat.
How about a little hint?
No. See, you can never tell when somebody's listening.
Oh, Vivian.
Well, if you don't want to have lunch with me, of course, I can understand that.
Now listen to the way you're talking. Of course I want to have lunch with you. Besides, all the secrecy has more than piqued my curiosity. What time do you want to meet?
Noon. And nobody will be here. I'll make sure of that. We're going to have sandwiches in the solarium. I have to get off the phone now, Mrs. Decker. Somebody's at the door.
All right, I'll meet you at noon, alone.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Ricky!
Steve
Hello,
Decker. You're out awful early today.
You're telling me.
Is that Ricky? It certainly is. Excuse me, I gotta go get Mr. Wheeler his coffee ready. It's real good to see you again.
Thank you, Vivian. It's real nice to see you. I don't know how nice it is to see you.
Huh?
Getting me up at the crack of dawn.
Oh, it's hardly the crack of dawn.
Well, it was when you called me. This had better be important.
Oh, it is, Ricky. I cannot stop thinking about everything your friend Donnie said yesterday.
And that's why you wanted to talk to me?
Look, don't you see? First of all, Miles says there's no such thing as High Topah. And then Donnie says that he took Miles there, so obviously High Topah exists.
So?
So I want you to come with me.
Where?
To see the good professor and find out exactly what is going on.
Morning, Kate.
Oh, good morning, Jenny. Has Ryan left?
Just now. Thanks. He had an urgent call from the office and had to get over there right away.
It was a late night.
What time did you get to sleep?
Not until around 4 o'clock. I left Ashley and Justin sitting here.
I don't think anyone slept much last night. Especially Ashley. The whole thing reminds me of what... I feel bad for Ashley. It's like when Barrett took Steve.
Kate, have you heard anything?
Well, the sheriff called earlier. He has his men out looking everywhere. And he said 2 helicopters went up at dawn. The sheriff said he'd call if he got any kind of a report.
Why did he have to run away? If anything happens...
No doubt, Ashley. Don't worry, we'll find him.
But where? Where is he?
Bring them on in. Oh, Paige, I'm sorry to bother you. I was just... Well. Well, you like my new decor? They're beautiful.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Ooh. Well, you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying. Right.
You came here this morning to tell me something, Nita?
Oh, of course. I wanted to know if I could come in late this morning. I've got a few things to do.
Oh, no problem. Actually, I was going to give you a call. Our first appointment's been canceled, so you can come in at noon if you want.
Oh, great. Thanks. Actually, I think I'll stop by the studio and have an early lunch with Billy Joe.
So, how are the 2 newlyweds? That is so gorgeous.
Thanks. Paige, I'm so happy. It's like being married again. For the first time. All over again.
I'm so happy for you both, honey.
Thanks. We're gonna make it this time. I know we will.
Well, you better. I've got a bet on it.
So how about all these flowers, huh?
Yeah.
Gee, I remember when Billy Joe and I were first married. We had a fight about something. And when I came back to the apartment, he had decorated the whole place with banners and flowers. Oh, it was so romantic.
Yeah, it certainly is romantic, isn't it?
So who gave you all these flowers?
I don't know, Nita. There wasn't any card.
No card?
Nope. But I think I have a pretty good idea.
Ruby, what is it? But please be quick about it. I have an appointment.
Well, I've been trying to get an appointment with you for several days, but your secretary keeps putting me off.
She's only doing her job.
By keeping me from seeing you?
Hardly. I have been very busy lately, Ruby. And my secretary keeps my schedule filled with important matters.
Well, this is an important matter.
Is it about Ricky's television show?
Well, yeah, it is. How'd you know?
Oh, just a lucky guess.
I guess that's why this is your station.
You have something to tell me, Ruby.
Yeah. I thought you might be interested in knowing that I'm producing Ricky's first record album. Now, this is a very big move for Ricky, for me, for you.
I see. And
I thought maybe we should be getting along with our plans for Ricky, seeing as how the time is right.
Ricky's television show.
Yes, that's right.
Ruby, I've already committed myself to Ricky having his own show here on KVIK when I decide the time is right.
Well, I just wasn't sure. I thought maybe you might have changed your mind about the show.
I haven't. Ricky is a very talented young man. And when the station's schedule permits it, that is when the show will go on the air and not until then. Now, do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have an appointment.
Well, I tried.
Oh, Brett, it's always good to see a fellow geologist. Oh, come on in.
Oh, Miles, this is Ricky Decker. Ricky Miles Rehnquist.
Ricky Decker, or, you Rena's what?
Brother-in-law.
Rena was married to my brother, Max.
Well, it's very nice to meet you.
Believe me, Professor, I've been looking forward to meeting you.
Finally, you've heard all of those stories that the charming Brett Wheeler's been telling you.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, what can I do for you?
Well, we've come here to clear up this whole business about High-Topah.
High-Topah?
Oh, you remember the word that you kept repeating over and over the night that Ginny found you?
Brett, I've already explained that. I was delirious that night. Jenny heard me mumbling something that sounded like High-Topah. It was High-Tona. I mean, apparently I said a lot of things that night. I was incoherent, you know.
Ah. Well, in that case, Miles, maybe you could explain something else?
Well, I'll try. What is it?
Why a friend of Ricky's said he took you there.
Took me where?
High-Topah.
That's fine there, Dave. Oh, that's much better. The spot's just the right place. Thanks, everybody. Real good.
Hey, Billy Joe. How's life treating you?
How's life? You really in a good mood?
Sure. Why shouldn't I be?
I don't know. I just get the feeling.
Oh, if you're talking about that little shake-up we had the other day, I practically forgot about the whole thing.
Ruby, you never forgot about a thing in your whole life.
You got a point there. I just took the time to think things over, though.
And?
And I've come to the conclusion that it ain't the end of the world.
What isn't the end of the world?
My own brother tossed me out into the cold without so much as one word of warning.
I knew it. I knew it was too good to be true. First of all, Ruby, I didn't throw you out in the cold. Second of all, I gave you plenty of warning. Like a whole month. Ever since I told you Nita and I were getting back together again.
Forget it. It isn't important anymore anyway.
Oh, and just what is important now?
The fact that life has to go on. And I have a lot of important things to think about.
Okay, Ruby, I know you want to tell me something, so why don't you just come out with it, huh?
Oh, it's nothing, Billy Joe. I just had a little chat with Vicki Bellman.
A little chat with Vicki Bellman is nothing?
Nothing for a person in my position.
Well, what was it about?
Ricky's new show.
She said to go ahead with it?
Well, she didn't exactly put it in so many words. But I'm sure that was the general idea.
Ashley will find him.
When?
Well, now, the hands have all gone out on horseback. They can cover a lot more ground than on foot. I only wish I'd sent them out yesterday instead of Bo by himself. But I was so sure he'd be able to find them. I didn't have any idea that little boy'd go that far.
He's a very determined little boy.
Yeah. Well, when Bo came back and said he hadn't found a trace of him, I should have just gone out by myself. I'm sorry, Ashley.
Okay, no. Please don't blame yourself. You've done as much as any person can do.
Well, everybody's doing all they can. But don't worry, we'll find him.
I pray we do.
There's just one thing that bothers me.
What?
Why was it so important for Gregory to get that car back? You know, it was almost like an obsession with him.
Oh, Kate. Have you seen Alice?
Well, yes, she and Jenny went down to check out the stable area.
Well, now, I thought they'd already searched all those places.
They did. But Allison wants so much to help.
Yeah, this has been real hard on her, just sitting and waiting.
She seems to be so fond of that little boy.
Oh, they're very, very close.
And they're only cousins.
Ah, but see, they were raised like brother and sister.
There's something about Gregory. That little boy seems so sad.
He hasn't gotten over his mother's death yet. It's going to take some time.
No, it's something else. Something... Hello? Oh, yes, Sheriff.
Gregory?
Yes, of course, I know you are. And you will call if there's anything. Yeah, thank you. Goodbye. Nothing.
Where is he? Do they have enough people out looking for him?
Everyone who can be.
I can't stay here. I'm gonna go get Justin and try to find him.
Good morning, you beautiful little boutique owner.
I knew it was you.
May I come in?
Of course. Andre.
Thank you.
I've been expecting you.
Whew. Well, I can see why my little bouquet of roses didn't impress you.
Oh, I see.
Now, who do you suppose could have sent all these flowers?
I haven't the slightest.
Haven't you?
Okay, what's the occasion?
Oh, just paving the way
Paving the way?
for next weekend.
Why are we stopping?
All this driving around isn't getting us anywhere.
No, not if we're not moving. Let's move.
Ashley, we don't know where in the world even to start looking. We could drive down any county road and never find him. He might be behind any one of these trees out there.
Well, then let's look behind the trees,
That is
Justin.
just plain stupid.
No, what's stupid? Is sitting back there at that house, just sitting and waiting, doing nothing.
There are a lot of other people out there looking for him right now.
And now there's going to be one more. Now, are there going to be two?
Ashley.
I'm going to find him.
I want to talk to you.
We have nothing to talk about.
Come on, Ashley. You're just blaming me for this whole thing.
Justin! This is not the time.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for treating Gregory like that.
Well, it's a little late, don't you think?
Would you listen to me? Now, I know it's been very hard on you, but it's been very hard on me, too. Trying to keep Marshall Oil from sinking. The money. The Ace High thing. I've been through a lot lately. It just wasn't the best time for that boy to show up on our doorstep.
Oh, I understand. Just wasn't the right time for Gregory to arrive.
Exactly.
But on the other hand, if it had just been Allison alone, then it would have been all right. Wouldn't it?
So that's the reason you came here, this fire compass.
Yes, the only reason.
And you're sure you don't know where it is?
Ginny and I have searched every inch of this ranch and it hasn't turned up.
I wonder where it could be.
Well, that's the million-dollar question that nobody seems to have an answer for.
Unless somebody else has already found it.
Those people you were talking about, the ones who are after you to get the fire compass, what if they have it?
No, I don't think so.
Well, how do you know?
Let's just say I have my reasons.
Well, somebody's got it. I think that's pretty obvious.
Why didn't you tell Brett about all this in the beginning? Maybe you wouldn't be in such a fix right now.
Look, too many people know about this already. I didn't want to get her involved.
Why?
These people that are after the fire compass would stop at nothing to get their hands on it. I mean, if they had the slightest inkling that somebody had some information that could help them in any way, that person's life would be worth nothing.
They'd kill for it?
I'm afraid so.
Why is it so important?
All right. I'm going to give you the full story. Your friend, Donnie. He was telling the truth about that old Indian legend. 700 years ago, there was a great explosion. An explosion of such magnitude that you couldn't even begin to imagine. Well, the Indians, they took this as some kind of a sign. And they named the place of the explosion Haitopah.
Haitopah.
The place of the great fire. It's now become an Indian sacred ground.
So where does the fire compass fit into all this?
The fire compass is the key to what caused the explosion. And there's still a great danger. Look, what I'm going to tell you now, look, you're going to have a lot of trouble believing it. I did myself. I'm a scientist and given to logical turn of thought. I feel very strongly, and for very good reason, that there's something supernatural involved in all of this.
Kate, I'm going to drive Allison into town. In case Gregory's trying to call the hotel, someone should be there to answer.
Oh, I think that's wise, Ginny.
Okay, let's go.
Allison, don't worry about Gregory. We'll find him.
I know you will. I just have to believe that.
Wanda, it's good to see you.
Kate. Oh, have they found that boy yet? The one you called me about yesterday?
Gregory?
Yeah, have they found him?
No. But they will.
Poor little guy. He's been out here all night. Oh, I think I've got something that might belong to you or Steve.
What?
Aren't you going to join me?
Oh, no, Mrs. Decker. I always take my meals in the kitchen.
Now, Vivian, you invited me to have lunch with you.
Well, seeing as how Mr. Wheeler's gone, I don't mind if I do. You have to realize I don't ordinarily do this.
Of course.
So? What?
Vivian, why am I here?
Oh, of course. Mr. Wheeler has bought this house, and he's going to redo it from stem to stern.
Oh, that's marvelous.
No, this is awful.
Awful?
Because he's asked me to supervise this redoing of the decor. Me! Well, I told Mr. Wheeler I can't do something like that. That'd just be a joke. So the thing is, that's why I called you up, Mrs. Decker. Heavens knows what it would turn out if I did it.
How can I help you, Vivian?
Well, I'm not the one who should be decorating Mr. Wheeler's house.
No?
No, ma'am. You should.
That's hardly fair, Ashley.
Isn't it?
Allison is older. She can take care of herself. That boy needed time that I didn't have to give him.
And what about the understanding that you didn't give him either, Justin? What about that?
You know, it's not all that easy to be understanding to Gregory. And it's not that easy to get through to him.
No. Not if you don't even try.
I tried, damn it. That boy's got a shield around him.
Oh, Justin. Underneath that shield, as you say, is just one scared little boy. That's just a front. A front to keep him from getting hurt anymore. Couldn't you see that?
I see that. I finally see through that now.
Why did you have to wait so long? Why did all of this have to happen before you finally saw the truth? Why did you...
Ashley.
No. I'm sorry. This is not all your fault. It's just as much mine for him running away.
Don't.
I yelled at him. I didn't have to do that. That Rex car wasn't that important. See, he could take you yelling at him. But when I turned on him, too...
Ashley.
Justin, he must think that I don't even love him. And I do love him. I love him so much.
He knows that, darling. He knows.
Where is he? What's happened to him?
So, just let it out. It's all right. Darling, we're going to find that boy. Everything is going to be all right.
I keep thinking all the terrible things that could happen to him. I can't get them off my mind. What are you doing?
I'm going to find that boy.
It's Gregory's. He had it when he came here.
The boy who's missing?
Yes. Come on in, Wanda. Where'd you find it?
On my front porch. But I didn't see any boy. As a matter of fact, I didn't think much about it till this morning.
This morning?
Oh, Buddy Jr.'s been making such a fuss ever since he got up today. Kept talking about some racing car that he traded Steve his baseball bat for.
Racing car?
That's right. He said he put the racing car on the porch. The same place I found that thing. So, I just put two and two together and I figured it out.
What?
Well, Steve must have come over and traded the puzzle for the racing car without telling anyone. I can't say it was right of Steve, though, not saying anything.
Oh, it couldn't have been Steve. He isn't even here.
But then who?
Must have been Gregory. He must have gotten all the way out here. And you didn't see him?
Didn't see anyone. Well, except that strange-looking fellow that was hanging around my place all afternoon.
Somebody strange has been around your place?
Real strange, like I said. Real tall and dark. And I wouldn't trust that smile of his either.
That sounds like our new ranch hand.
What would he be doing around my place?
I sent him to look for Gregory.
Well, I thought he was a trespasser. I came out of the house with my rifle. Well, why didn't he tell me he was looking for Gregory?
Well, he must have been tongue-tied looking down the barrel of your gun.
Well, I suppose he was. But he could have said something. Well, we heard noises all night long. Buddy kept going out on the porch thinking it was that fella coming back. Must have been the coyotes. Well, I just wanted to bring that back. I'm sorry I couldn't help you, Annie Kay.
Oh, Wanda, you've been a big help. At least we know where Gregory's been.
Poor little fella. I hope they find him. No telling what could happen to him. Well, I'll be seeing you, dear.
Yeah. Goodbye. Thank you, Wanda. Gregory, I hope you're all right.
You know, we gotta do this more often.
We better be careful, though.
What?
Well, this could be habit forming.
You know what's really habit forming around here?
What?
You. And I just know I'm getting addicted. I just can't help myself. Oh, Nita, I'm just the happiest man in Houston. No, that isn't right.
No.
No. I'm the happiest man in all Texas. Nita, I love you so much.
You too.
Well, Penny, for your thoughts. Come on, tell me.
Flowers.
Flowers?
Mm-hmm. Flowers.
How come?
Well, I was at Paige's hotel room earlier this morning, and she had this mound of flowers in her room. Somebody had sent her dozens of flowers. It was romantic. Do you remember when you put all those flowers in our apartment? Remember that?
Of course I do.
Maybe I'm a little bit old-fashioned, but, you know, I like that kind of thing.
And what's old-fashioned about telling somebody how much you care for them, huh? What's wrong with being old-fashioned anyways?
Nothing.
Good, because I'm old-fashioned. Nita, there's something I've been waiting to tell you. It's a surprise. And I'm waiting for just the right moment to tell you.
What is it?
Well, you're going to think I'm crazy for doing this.
No, I won't. What is it?
Well... yeah, you are. You're going to think I'm crazy.
No, I promise. Cross my heart. Now, come on, tell me. What is it?
I just know you're going to think I'm crazy.
Well, Joe, if you don't tell me, I'm going to go crazy. Now, come on, tell me.
Well, I was so sure that we're going to get back together again that,
Then what? Then what? Then what?
that I start building a house for you.
A house.
Nita, this is no ordinary house. None of that run-of-the-mill stuff.
What do you mean?
This is the greatest house you've ever seen. It's a mansion.
A mansion.
A mansion. For you and me and Billy Joe Jr.
I don't know what to say.
You already said it, Nita.
I did?
Yep. You said I do.
good coffee, beautiful setting, and a beautiful companion.
In that order?
Never. A beautiful companion always comes first.
Good, I was worried.
Well, the setting does help.
Okay, now fess up, Mr. Canfield. You did all of this, didn't you?
I take full blame, dear lady. I'm at your mercy.
TJ, I'm a little overwhelmed. I mean, you certainly don't do things halfway, do you?
The best or nothing. And for you, nothing but the best.
Well, thank you, kind sir.
I can assure you, the pleasure is all mine.
Well, I have got to get to work eventually, and I better let you get to work at Marshall Oil. I mean, we wouldn't want any problems to crop up because you're not working.
There's nothing to worry about. I let my secretary know what your number was in case anybody needed me. There's no need to rush.
Yeah, but you may have things in control, TJ, but if I don't get moving and get to that boutique, well, things could just crumble.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Oh, yeah, listen, if something happens and I'm not there, what? Thanks again for the flowers. They are really something.
No, you're really something.
About next weekend.
You're not going to back out on me.
Oh, no.
Good.
I'm looking forward to that very much.
Gregory!
Gregory!
Gregory! Oh, Justin. This is like looking for a needle in a haystack. It can be anywhere. Do I keep thinking, you know what I keep thinking, Justin? Maybe he is nearby and he can't hear us. What if he's...
Donna, we're gonna find him. We're gonna find him. Come on, let's go.
Gregory! Gregory! Please, dear Lord. Please let him hear me. Gregory!
Ashley!
Gregory. Oh, Gregory.
Me decorate Mr. Wheeler's house?
I don't see why not.
But Vivian, I'm not a professional decorator.
Neither am I, and he asked me. You know much more than I do.
Well, I just don't know that I would have the time to select the colors, the style, the designs. I mean, there'd be a million things I'd have to think about.
All that comes easily.
Oh, does it?
Yes, because the most important thing is having good taste.
Oh, yes, good taste.
And I knew that the moment I saw you, Mrs. Decker, you got nothing but good taste.
Oh.
Look at you. Look at the way you dress your hair. Look at the way you dress the rest of you. It's everything about you.
Vivian.
I'm not kidding, Mrs. Decker. I'm serious. You've got good taste. Just like Mrs. Wheeler.
Thank you very much,
Well,
Vivian.
she's telling you the truth.
Vivian.
What?
There may be one small problem.
What?
How do we know that my taste would be similar to Mr. Wheeler's?
Does a cow give milk? If there were two people on the earth who had closer taste, it's you and Mr. Wheeler. I'm telling you, he would love anything that you did.
Why do I get the feeling that you're setting me up?
Oh, Mrs. Decker.
All right, Vivian.
You'll do it?
Well, I'd be kind of fun to make a few changes around here.
I just knew you wouldn't.
Now, Vivian.
Decker, now we can really celebrate.
Vivian.
What?
How are we going to tell Mr. Wheeler that I'm his interior decorator?
Oh, you just leave all of that to me. Don't you worry about a thing.
Hello?
What are you doing here?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Marshall. I'm looking for Ginny.
She isn't here.
When will she be back?
Why?
I need to talk to her. It's important.
There are a lot of important things going on here now. We don't need to add your problems.
Well, then maybe I can help.
Oh, I don't think you can. When are you going to get the message that you're not needed here or wanted?
I've already gotten the message. Look, I've already spoken to Ryan. I'm leaving. Mrs. Marshall, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor.
What?
Will you please tell Ginny that I want to speak to her? Please.
All right.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Honestly, that man...
Well, Mr. H, I think I finally got something here that's going to make you happy. Yes, sir. Real happy.
Oh, Gregory. Oh, we were so worried about you. We've looked for you everywhere. Where did you go?
This place. I got lost.
Why?
I just had to get something.
Oh, I'm so sorry I yelled at you. I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. Oh, look at you. Clothes, you got scratches everywhere. Are you okay? Are you hurt?
I'm okay. Honest, I am.
Oh, I love you. Oh, everything's gonna be all right. Everything's gonna be all right, baby. I'm gonna take you home. Come on.
You had us plenty worried. All of us. Glad you're all right.
Got your model racing car back.
Thank you, Gregory.
Sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you or get you mad or anything.
Just a minute.
Miles.
I'm sorry, Ginny. I know I said we shouldn't see each other again.
It's all right. Come on in.
Thank you.
Kate mentioned to me that you were looking for me.
Yeah, she didn't seem too happy to see me.
Well, I think she's had a lot of other things on her mind. We had kind of an emergency here last night.
Yeah, I heard. One of the sheriff's men came by the cabin, and he said you were looking for a little boy.
Gregory Linden, he's living with Kate's grandson in Houston, and he came out here on the bus to visit Steve. Found out that Steve was gone. He just wandered off.
Have they found him yet?
About an hour ago. He was out most of the night, but Doc Williams checked him over, and he's going to be all right.
Well, I'm glad.
So what do you want to see me about?
Something's happened, Ginny, that I think you should know about. Brett came by the cabin this morning, and she brought a friend with her. Ricky Decker.
Why did she bring Ricky Decker?
He'd been backpacking through those canyons along the Nueces River.
He had?
As a matter of fact, a friend of his was my guide the first time I went into that area.
Oh, Miles.
Ginny, I had to tell them the truth.
What?
I had to tell them about the fire compass and about High Topar.
But you said, oh, that was dangerous.
I know, but I think in Brett's case, it's more dangerous not to tell her.
But, Miles...
She's persistent. If she continues this on her own, there's no telling what kind of trouble she's going to stumble into.
Well, I suppose you're right.
I had another visitor the other night, your husband. Right after we, I don't want to cause any more problems, Ginny. I'm going to be leaving here soon.
Allie? Who's here?
Gregory. Oh, I was so glad when they called me from the ranch. Where were you all night? I was worried sick about you.
You didn't have to worry. I'm okay.
You don't look okay. You look terrible.
No, he's fine. We had a doctor check him out at the ranch.
Oh, I hope so. Well, why did you do it, Greg?
To get Marshall's car back.
Well, that's silly. You could have...
Allie, he is home, and he's fine. That's what counts.
And from now on, this is his home.
Mr. H., it's Baker. Bo Baker.
What is it, Baker? You're not calling to report another delay.
No, sir, not this time. I got it. I got it right here in my hand.
The fire compass?
That's what you wanted, isn't it? And when Bo Baker says he's going to deliver something, he comes through.
Where are you?
I'm in Marshall Village right now, but I'm heading on into Houston. Meet you at the usual place?
Yes, and the sooner the better.
Oh, Mr. H., you can't be in a bigger hurry than I am. You'll have that money with you?
Of course, Mr. Baker. As soon as I have that fire compass in my hand, you'll get everything that's coming to you.
Good. Because I don't plan on hanging around here much longer. As soon as that money is in my pocket, Houston has seen the last of Bo Baker.
Well, get a move on, Mr. Baker. I don't like to be kept waiting.
Well, you'll just have to wait a little bit longer, Mr. H. You'll get your fire compass all right. But I got some personal business to attend to first.
Hi, where you been? Shopping? I bought us some pillows. Pillows? Mm-hmm. They're decorator pillows. I figured this place needed a little brightening up. There's one thing I can't stand is those tacky motel bedspreads. Those are real nice, Ruby. Yeah, I thought we'd get a head start on the furniture for our apartment. Well, if we ever get one, we're gonna get one. And when we do, it's gonna be the right one. Darlene, you can't just let people push into taking the first thing that comes along.
Well, we certainly haven't done that. We must have looked at 50 different apartments already. Ruby, do you know where my blue sweater is? I know I packed it, but I just can't figure out which one.
I'm sorry, honey. I know you're not used to living out of a suitcase like this. But you gotta believe me when I tell you it's all gonna be worth it.
I liked almost every one of those apartments.
Lurleen, the place you live reflects who you are. Now, we gotta find a place that looks like it belongs to two up-and-coming producers.
Producers?
Yeah, well, we're gonna produce Ricky's album, aren't we?
Why are you in such a good mood today? Have you talked to those people at L&R Recording Studios?
No, I talked to someone a whole lot more important than that.
Who?
Vicki Bellman. And she promised me that Ricky is definitely going to have his own show on KVIK.
When?
Soon, real soon.
Oh, Ruby, that's wonderful.
So you see, honey, we got to hang in there just a little bit longer. Pretty soon we're going to be moving in a whole different world.
What are you doing in the sunroom anyway?
Oh, I'm trying to make something with this construction set you gave me for Christmas.
Got your little bowls all over the floor.
Yeah, well, they're so small. I don't seem to be able to hold on to them very well.
That's the whole point. The man at the hobby shop said this little kit is supposed to improve your manual dexterity.
I don't think it's working.
Well, you mustn't get discouraged. You just gotta keep trying. Now, what you building?
Well, I thought I'd start with the windmill. The instruction pamphlet said that'd be a good project for a beginner.
I just love windmills.
Yeah. Well, you know, the instruction pamphlet sure was interesting. You know that the guy who invented this thing came up with it around 1913. It was inspired by the structural steel, the New Haven...
John, you're not supposed to be using your head. You're supposed to be using your hands.
But I'm not any good with my hands.
I know. And if you're going to be around cars, you should be.
Vivian, I'm a chauffeur, not an auto mechanic.
It's the same thing. Any good chauffeur is supposed to be equal to any emergency situation. Like, for instance, what would you do if your fan belt broke?
I call the garage.
If you keep playing with these little bolts, you shouldn't have to.
Yes, Vivian.
Now, I'm going to go away and leave you to this, and then I'm going to come back and check up on you.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, just cut it out.
That's it. That's High-Topah. You and Donnie were right.
Yep, place of the Great Fire. You know, you're going to go cross-eyed if you keep staring at that map like that.
Oh, I can't help it. From a geological standpoint, this whole thing is fascinating.
Why is it so fascinating?
Well, because it's a relatively recent occurrence.
Recent? You call 700 years ago recent?
Oh, yes, yes. In terms of millennium, 700 years is yesterday. And an explosion of the magnitude that Donnie and Miles are talking about, that's almost unprecedented. Oh, I would love the chance to explore this site myself.
Hey, Brett, remember what the professor said. That site is dangerous.
Yeah, I know. And I am even more intrigued by what he said about the fire compass.
You mean about how the fire compass is the key to the explosion and that there are supernatural things going on out there?
Yep.
You don't really believe that, do you?
I've raised 6. Why did Ryan come to see you?
Because he loves you and he wants to find out what's going on between us.
But he has no reason to think... Did he accuse us of anything?
No. He didn't even mention us at all.
Then what did he talk about?
Me? What I'm doing here, how long I intend staying, whether my research has anything to do with the Marshall Ranch. But that's not really what he wants to know. And quite frankly, I don't blame Ryan, Ginny. If you were my wife, I'd be pretty suspicious of any man that even looked at you.
Miles, please.
I had no right to kiss you, I know. I couldn't help myself. It just happened.
What did you tell Ryan?
What do you mean, what did I tell him?
About your research.
Well, I just told him that I was doing some geological research on the ranch, and it had nothing to do with the Marshalls.
Did you tell him why you were staying at Rena's cabin?
Yes, I told him that I'd lost something that night in the Jeep. And it was very vital to me, and I needed some more time to find it.
Did Ryan agree to give you more time?
More or less.
Well, then you have no reason to leave.
I can't stay, Ginny. Not now.
But you haven't found the fire compass yet.
It's gone, Ginny. Don't you understand that? It's just disappeared. I can't see any point to keep looking for it.
Where will you go?
Rather not say.
Miles, this is crazy. You're safe here on the ranch, you know that. And what if those men find you? You said yourself they're
Jenny,
ruthless. Your
please.
life's in danger.
Look, I can take care of myself.
Oh, yes, I know the way you take care of yourself. The first night you arrived on this ranch, you almost died.
Yeah, well, I didn't. Thanks to you.
Miles, you can't leave. I mean, I have no right to insist on you staying.
Jimmy, I haven't any reason to stay.
I can't go to bed now. It's too early.
Well, now, I know it's not your usual time, but you didn't exactly have a usual night last night, did you?
No, I guess not.
Well, I don't suppose you, got much rest out there on the range, did you?
I got some.
Well, it's more than I got. You know, Ashley and I were up most of the night searching for you.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Hop up here. Nobody gets lost on purpose, you know.
I'm also sorry about the racing car.
Gregory, let's just get something straight. If you promise to forget that I have lost my temper, I'll forget that you tried to trade away my racing car. Is that a deal?
Okay. What are we going to do with it now that I got it back for you?
Here, scoot up. I was thinking maybe I just leave it right here.
In my room?
Sure. You can have it as long as you like.
Does that mean I can stay too?
Well, of course. After all, I'm the one that went out there and found you in those woods. You are my boy now.
Really?
Finders keepers?
Oh, Marshall.
Say, listen, you just better not get yourself excited like this. Ashley came up in here and found you jumping up and down. We'd both catch it.
Sorry.
Well, don't be sorry. Just lie down there and keep quiet. Keep under those covers. Try to get some sleep. Good night now.
Marshall,
What?
can you tell me a story?
I'm not very good at those kinds of things, Gregory. I don't even think I know a bedtime story.
Marshall, I'm 10 years old. I don't want to listen to bedtime stories. I wanted to hear a story about your racing career.
Oh, you do?
Well, every time I get, like, a little scared, I just think about all the dangers you went through when you were race driving. And I thought to myself, Marshall could do it, so could I.
Well, you know, Gregory, racing isn't really all that dangerous.
Sure it is.
Well, yeah, well, maybe, sometimes. I remember this one time in a race that I happened to lose. I
You
lost it. Yeah. Yeah, sit up here. You know, everybody loses now and then, you know. I remember it was the Dutch Grand Prix. I was caught right in the middle of a grid between Mario Andretti...
Mario Andretti? You know him?
Yes, I do. Everybody in the international circuit knows Mario Andretti. You see, the thing you have to worry about with the course at Zandvoort is a really wicked hairpin turn. Just whips right around.
Hello?
Ashley,
Yes?
have you thought about what I told you?
Yes.
I want the money you inherited to be kept infested in the corporations I control.
I know.
We do understand each other on this little matter, don't we?
Yes, Hannibal. Whatever you say.
Well, it's nice to see you in a good mood for a change.
I'm always in a good mood.
No, you're not. I've been really worried about you for the last couple of days.
Yeah, well, things were just a little shook up for a while. I had a lot of changes dumped on me all at once. I'm okay now, though. Can't keep Ruby right down. Not for long.
Who do you suppose that is?
Do you remember to pay the motel bill?
Yeah.
Then it's probably Billy Joe. I'm supposed to go meet him over at the coop later. He probably just stopped by to see how we're doing. Hey.
Hello, Pumpkin. Aren't you going to ask me in?
Ricky, look, if Miles Rehnquist says that the fire compass is the key to the mystery at High Topaz, then you better believe him.
You really put a lot of faith in what that guy has to say, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And you really buy this business about the supernatural being there?
If Miles says that there is, then yes, I accept it.
I don't know. This business about ghosts and evil spirits, it's a little hard to swallow.
Miles never said anything about ghosts. That is a childish interpretation of the word supernatural.
Oh, it is?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, what does it mean to you?
Well, when Miles refers to the supernatural, he's not just talking about superstition. He means that there are forces at work that cannot be analyzed in scientific terms.
Well, if that's true, then how does anybody deal with this?
By analyzing the material that is available.
Such as?
Such as the fire compass. And that is why it is so important that we help him find it.
Now, how are we going to do that? He's already searched the entire ranch and it's not there.
Well, it's got to be. Now, Miles says that he hid it somewhere near the stable, and if he did, then it's got to be there. Can't just vanish into thin air.
Well, it might. It's really supernatural.
Lurleen, I'd like you to meet Hank. Hank Smith. Hank, say hello to Lurleen Harper.
Well, Lurleen, this is a real pleasure. Ruby didn't tell me that she had such a pretty roommate.
We're partners.
Huh?
Lurleen and I are business partners.
Well, what sort of business?
The nightclub business.
Really?
Yeah, I know it still sounds kind of funny to me when I say it like that, but it's true. I own this country and western place called the Coop. It's just a couple of blocks from here on Westheimer. Ruby manages it for me.
Well, that must be a real nice arrangement. Ruby's real good at managing things. I know that because, see, we had a joint banking account up in Nashville. And Ruby did a real fine job of managing that.
Yeah, Ruby's helping to arrange my finances, too. You see, my granddaddy died, and he left me all kinds of money. And if it hadn't been for Ruby's help, I don't know what I would have done.
Well, Pumpkin's been known for a real big heart where it comes to helping folks out that need.
You said you had a joint account up in Nashville? Is that where you're from?
No, but that's where I met Ruby.
Were you both in the music business?
Well, more or less.
Hank was a client of mine.
Oh, that's interesting. You know, maybe Mr. Smith could help us with Ricky's album.
Oh, no, look, I don't...
Oh, Ricky Decker. He's a singer that Ruby manages.
Well, I know Ricky. Matter of fact, he's one of my favorite people.
Well, Ruby and I are going to produce an album for him. And if you're not
Lurleen, I don't think Mr. Smith would be interested in working on Ricky's album, because Hank and Ricky have totally different tastes in music.
Oh.
Lurleen, honey, you think you could do me a real big favor?
Sure.
See, I totally forgot I had this appointment with Hank, and Billy Joe's waiting for me over at the Coop, so would you mind running down there and just tell him I'm going to be a little late?
Okay.
Thanks,
I have some stuff I need to talk to Roy about anyway. It was really nice meeting you, Mr. Smith. Hope you see you again sometime soon.
Well, so do I, Lurleen.
All right, Bo. What do you want?
A pumpkin, can't you guess?
No, I can't.
I'm here to give you something that you want. Something that you want real bad.
Visual sense.
Oh, Vivian, did anyone call while I was out?
Oh, ma'am.
Okay, well, I'll be upstairs then. Oh, what's this? A construction set?
Yes, ma'am. I bought this for John to improve his manual dexterity. And I think the hobby shop may have sold me a lemon.
Lemon?
Yeah. Some of these pieces seem to be missing. Neither John nor I can
I know, the parts we need. What are you making?
A windmill.
Oh, a windmill. Oh, that's a snap. Mark and I used to do those all the time when we were kids. May I?
Yeah.
Sure. What's this? Yeah.
Maybe this here.
There. That's the hard part. Rest of it should be easy. Have fun. She's right. The rest of it should be easy.
You're supposed to be asleep?
I tried.
Well, it sure doesn't look like you're trying very hard.
Well, if you can't sleep, you gotta do something.
I suppose so.
Did Marshall ever tell you how fast a racing car can go?
Mm-mm.
120 miles per hour.
Ooh.
That's what Marshall said.
It's pretty fast.
Did he ever tell you about the hairpin turn where he almost crashed into Mario Andretti?
No.
He told me. He's really a nice guy.
Yeah. That's why I married him.
He said I could stay.
He did.
He said he found me in the woods. And now I'm his.
You want to be his, Gregory? I'm glad. I'm real sorry that I yelled at you.
That's okay.
No. No, you didn't deserve that. Sometimes adults get under great strain and they lash out at whoever's close to them.
No.
They don't mean to. It doesn't really mean anything. Does that make any sense? I mean, can you understand that? I love you, Gregory.
As much as Marshall?
Yeah. As much as that.
I love you too.
Oh. Oh, Gregory.
Does this mean I can stay up?
You little stinker. No, absolutely not. The doctor says you have to rest, and you do. Now you get in the bed. Don't you play anymore. Good night, Gregory.
Good night, Ashley.
Hi. Hi, Jenny. Oh, honey. Judith didn't tell me you were outside.
Well, she wasn't out there, but I heard you.
Oh, come on in. Something special you wanted to talk about?
No, I was shopping in the area, and I thought I'd stop by and see if you wanted to join me for a drink at Top of the World Club.
Well, sure. I'm just closing up shop. Give me 5 minutes, make one phone call, and then we can go. Jenny? Something wrong?
Nothing. Nothing.
Well, now, come on. I know you better than that. I want you to sit right down here and you tell me what's going on.
Well, where have you been?
Been talking to Gregory.
Isn't he asleep?
Oh, no.
Why not?
Something about hairpin turns and Mario Andretti.
He asked.
Uh-huh.
You do think he's going to be all right, don't you?
Oh, yeah. He's going to be just fine now.
You know, that's a pretty tough little boy there. I mean, when you think of all the things that have happened to him in the past couple of weeks, I can't... Now, what have I done to deserve that, may I ask?
Well, now, Mr. Marshall,
If you don't know the answer to that, I have no intention of telling you.
Jenny, I'm your best friend. Whatever it is that's wrong, you can tell me.
It's Miles.
What's he done? Has he been injured? Jenny, did he do something to you?
No. He's leaving.
Is he well enough to leave?
Oh, I don't know. He must be.
Where's he going?
He won't say. Not even sure he has a place in mind yet.
Honey, I'm sorry, but if he thinks that he's well enough to travel, then that's his decision. I don't understand why you're so upset.
Rita, I'm worried.
Oh. Honey, I don't think there's any reason for that. Miles is very resourceful. He's more than capable of taking care of himself.
But I am worried.
Jenny, do you think that perhaps you're getting too involved with Miles? Maybe it's better that he's leaving, huh?
I don't know.
Jenny, you do love Ryan, don't you?
Oh, Rena, yes.
And Miles?
I love Ryan.
Gregory?
What?
You sleeping?
What do you think?
You're not.
Stop!
God, they're gonna hear us.
What do you want?
I want you to tell me all about it.
All about what?
About your adventure, dummy.
It wasn't an adventure. I was just getting Marshall's car back.
But how did you get to the ranch?
I took a bus.
I know that, but how'd you pay for it?
From the people at the bus station.
Gregory, that's terrible.
It worked. Anyway, I got a list of all their names and addresses. I'm gonna pay them back.
Ah, you. Well, how did you get the car back?
I traded for it.
What'd you trade?
My puzzle.
You mean that stupid wooden thing you're always playing with?
It's not stupid.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's an Indian puzzle. And it's magical.
Didn't look very magical to me.
It's because you don't know how to read all the secret markings.
Well, neither do you.
Yes, I do.
Oh, yeah? What do they mean?
Not gonna tell you.
It's a stupid wooden thing and you're a liar.
No, it's not. It's magical. And I'm not the only person who thinks so.
What do you mean?
Some guy wanted it.
What guy?
Some big guy. He chased me.
When?
When I was in the woods. He chased me and then he threatened me.
Gregory.
It's true. After he threatened me, he got me on the ground and he said he'd kill me if I didn't tell him where the puzzle was.
Well, if he threatened to kill you, then how come you're not dead?
Because I told him where the puzzle was, stupid.
Well, that's a good thing. You're certainly not worth much, but you are worth that dumb old puzzle. I'm glad you're back. I missed you.
not concern me.
Well, I think it does concern me, because what's going on here, darling, is family business.
Since when is Hank Smith family business?
I don't think there is a Hank Smith.
Of course there is. Ask Lurleen. She met him at the motel.
Yeah, well, Lurleen met somebody at that motel, but who she describes, I think it's Bo Baker.
That is ridiculous, Billy Joe. Bo isn't even in Houston.
Ruby, don't kid me. As long as you got a nickel left in you, he's going to be hanging around somewhere.
Yeah, well, if it were Bo, why would I introduce him as Hank Smith?
Because he's trying to pull something. You're trying to keep me from catching wind. That's what you're trying to do.
I gotta go.
What's he up to, darling, huh? Is he still blackmailing you? He wants you to get back with you, right? That's it.
Billy Joe, I wouldn't get back with him on a bet. The only reason I'm in such a rush is because he said he was going to divorce me.
Then it is Bo.
Yeah, it's Bo.
Well, I'm not going to let you go see him, darling.
Billy Joe, let me go. I gotta go get these papers signed.
I'm not going to let you get mixed up with him again.
I'm not gonna get mixed up with him.
Look, call the motel. Tell him to get out of that motel room and they're going to mail the papers to him.
I don't want to mail them to him, Billy Joe. I want his signature on them right now. Because once he signs them, I'm going to be free of him for good.
You don't believe that, Ruby. Now, he's double-crossed you before.
Well, he'd better not try it now. Because if he does, it's going to be the very last thing he ever does.
Look, darling, somebody better go with you.
I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. Look, I can handle Bo.
No, look, I think I better go with you. Just make sure he doesn't try something funny.
Billy Joe, he's not going to try anything funny. Please just stay here, okay? Stay with Lurleen. Go on. I'll be right back. See you later, honey. Bye.
What's all this business about papers, Billy Joe?
They're just some business papers, huh?
Still one thing I don't understand, Billy Joe.
What's that?
Why would Ruby want to get rid of Bo? He's got that real sexy walk.